What's up, guys? Welcome back to another week here at the PDGA channel. Thank you for joining us this week. And what we're going to be talking about this week is a really great tool that I think really can help with your practicing, can help you be more creative with disc golf, and it can make rounds just a lot more fun. And what that thing is disc dice. Disc dice have been around for a little while now. You've probably heard of them before, maybe seen them on Jomez. I actually bought my disc dice from Jomez, and so it's their version of it. They have their logo on it and stuff. But it's a great tool, and basically what it does is you roll the dice and it tells you exactly what you're gonna do for your throw, whether that's an Anheuser shot, whether that's an overstable disc or an understable disc, different things like that. And so it makes it so you have to get a lot more creative with how you're gonna throw your shot, where you're gonna go, and it can churn a course that maybe isn't as interesting, way more interesting when you're throwing all these weird shots that you wouldn't think to throw. I'm out here at Howling Coyote Disc Golf Course. I've done a couple of videos out here before. It's just a great little 10-hole course, pretty close to where I live, and so I like coming out here to practicing my up shots, practicing hitting gaps because it's decently wooded, but it's not a super far short course, and I've played here a lot, so it can get a little bit boring because I feel like I'm throwing the same shots every time. So today I'm gonna play a couple of the holes using the disc dice, trying them out, and seeing how I can make this course a little more interesting and challenging by using the disc dice. All right, let's jump over to the first hole. All right, this first hole is pretty simple. I mean, normally I just throw a stock mid-range shot straight down, try and hit the gap, and if I do, I have a putt. If I don't hit the gap, really simple up shot, straight to the basket, put it in for the tree, or I make the gap and I get the two. Pretty simple, don't really do anything different ever, and so I'm gonna be using the disc dice, seeing what it tells me to do, and might make things a little bit more interesting. All right, first roll. We have a hyzer shot with a driver. This is gonna make things interesting. Definitely gonna have to power down, but I'm still throwing a hyzer, so I'm probably gonna have to throw understable since I'm throwing so light. It's gonna be interesting. I think I'm gonna throw my Scorch because it has some flip to it, and I'll just throw it on hyzer, not super hard on that right side. This is something I would never do on my own, so disc dice already making it interesting. Overestimated the flip just a little bit. It was starting to turn, but didn't flip all the way up, so got a little bit left. I'll have a little bit of an upshot or maybe a long putt. All right, I'm gonna say this is not a putt. It looks like it hit this tree right here and then just kicked backwards onto the fence side. So in a little bit of a tree, got a little bit of an upshot. So I'm gonna take out the disc dice and I'm gonna figure out what I need to throw here. I think upshots are maybe going to be the trickiest part of disc dice because we're so used to throwing upshots with a putter or something slower, and we have specific upshots we do regularly. So what I got is hyzer with a putter, so that's actually really clutch. That's probably what I'd do anyway, so I'm gonna take out my Berg and get it to the basket. That was a pretty poor out shot, but I had a lot of branches in my way. We still have a little bit of a putt, but this might be a bogey. Not quite. So as you can see, the disc dice definitely make it much more interesting. Normally I wouldn't be over on that side. You know, a driver gives you a bigger kick than a slower speed would. And so definitely pushing my game a little more, forcing me to actually have to work on scrambling and, you know, ended up getting me the 4. Let's try another hole and see how it goes. All right, we jumped over to hole 3, 211 feet. Really, there's just 2 things to focus on this hole, which is hitting the gap at first and then distance control. There is a path that runs along the side of the fairway and behind the basket. It's OB, and so you really got to make sure not to push too far or too right onto that path, which is why I always throw putters 211 feet to make sure I don't go too far. But I may not be doing that with the disc dice, and so this may make things a little more tricky. Let's roll them and let's see what we get. Oh, I do get to throw a putter, which is great, but I have to throw a roller, which is going to be very tricky with this gap. So let's see how it goes. I think my putter roller may actually be the weakest part of my game. It's something I basically never do. I like to throw rollers with faster discs that have bigger rims. I really just throw forehand rollers if I can help it. So this should be really interesting. I'm gonna be throwing my slow mez zone, ESP zone, and just kind of trying to put it on a cut angle to where it'll go straight and then curl left at the end. We'll see if that actually happens. Did not do what I wanted to do, hit a root or something, kind of popped up and curled to the right. Luckily it went over the path, it's not on it, so it's not OB, but I definitely have an upshot now to save par. All right, and the lucky roll is, oh, putter and the Jomez logo, which means I get to choose. That's great, that's exactly what I do here, just throw a putter upshot. I really just gotta make sure that it hyzers in and doesn't stay on the path, and I'll be good to go. All right, that's nice and close. Should be an easy 3. All right, able to snag the 3 here. Let's go try one more hole and see how it goes. All right, so the last hole we're gonna check out is hole 9. This is one of the trickier holes on the course. Plus, gotta show off the sweet tee pad. I don't actually know who did this, but huge upgrade from where it was at. If they keep doing this for all the tee pads, this is gonna be super nice for the course because the course gets really muddy. So thank you whoever did this, this is awesome. But this hole basically goes straight out and then it hyzers in super hard. There's also guardian trees all the way along this fairway, so you really have to find a gap, which makes it really tricky. Normally I'm gonna throw either a zone or maybe a fairway forehand, just power down. But I don't know what I'm gonna throw here because the discs are going to the side. So let's see what I get. A hyzer mid. Okay, that's actually not too bad. I can do that forehand and it'll give me a chance to get to the basket. Let's see how it goes. One problem, I forgot that I lost my Malta, which is my overstable mid-range. So this is a lot harder now. I'm gonna be throwing my Buzz on a whole lot of hyzer. And the thing is, you gotta throw this thing really smooth forehand if you want it to fly right. If you have any off-axis torque, it just tweaks over to the left super hard. So, gotta try and throw it smooth, try and eliminate all that off-axis torque so this works out, but this could turn out really poorly. All right, that wasn't too bad. It started kind of flipping over a little bit because of the off-axis torque, but nothing too bad. I gave it enough height and hyzer that it still went straight and then finished at the end. Maybe have a long look, maybe have enough shot, we'll see. Looks like I did end up having a putt. Hopefully I make it, can grab my first 2 with the disc dice. So let's give it a chance. Just off the top, gonna tap it in and get the 3. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed getting a look at the disc dice. If you haven't seen them already, haven't tried them out yourself, honestly, I think this is a great tool. I think this is gonna be a really fun way just to make my practice rounds more interesting on courses that maybe aren't as challenging, or I've played so much that I'm really stuck in throwing the exact same discs every time and kind of going through the motions. This is a great way to mix it up and make it more difficult. If this video gets 50 likes, I will use disc dice for every single one of my throws in a rated round and record it for this channel. So if you want to see that, leave a like down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe, be a part of this community where we're putting out these videos every single week all about disc golf. And so do that, and we will see you next week for the next video.